Greetings, everybody. This is JC from the JC and Shaman Show. Today we will be going over pretty simple words that they use in court, and we will be breaking them down, and sometimes these words might not mean what you believe they mean. And just remember that if you wish to have rights for yourself, then you should stand up for the rights of others. So the first word we have here is defendant, character of a defendant. There you go, being in the character of a defendant. So defendant, a noun, he that defends against an assailant, or against the approach of evil or danger. In law, the party that opposes a complaint, damage, or charge. He that is summoned into court and defends, denies, or opposes the demand or charge, and maintains his own right. So, the first thing that we would have to do in breaking down the word defendant is look for the root word, which would be fend. To shift off. Okay, so fend, it's like basically to get something away from you, to take care of yourself. What if I told you to go fend for yourself for dinner? You would, have to go and get dinner for yourself. So this is the prefix D before the root of the word, which is what makes it a prefix. So D, do the opposite. Remove, reduce. So to say defend, it means the opposite of fend. It means the opposite of getting something away, of pushing away, and all of those things that fend means. When you defend, then you're doing the opposite of fend. And that's how the word is broken down quite literally. Okay, so here is ant, the suffix. The suffix comes after the root of the word, which is fend, and the prefix comes before the root of the word, which is d. This suffix says an agent, something that performs the action. So when you're a defendant, okay, so we know D means to take away, to not do, and then fend means to push away, to protect yourself, and then ant, the suffix, means an agent, something that performs the action. So you're performing the action of not fending for yourself when you are a defendant. It's really just that simple. And this is where it becomes very, very important to break down words to their root meanings, because you're never going to find a dictionary these days, even from Webster's 1828, that says this meaning of defendant. Now, plaintiff. In law, the person who commences a suit before a tribunal for the recovery of a claim opposed to defendants. And this is the Webster's 1828 definition of plaintiff. And notice it only has one F in the English language when it is not in the French language. Plaintiff, a noun of Old French plaintiff, complaining, wretched, miserable, from plaint. See, plaint, and we are going to get into plaint next. The form that receded into legal usage retained the older IFF spelling. So when you use the IFF spelling, that is the legal language for plaintiff. The English language for plaintiff has just one F. Here is plaint, expression of sorrow, lament, lamentation. Lamentation, welling, beating of the breast. To lament, to strike. Again from Webster's 1828, plaint. Lamentation, complaint, audible expression of sorrow. Complaints, representation made of injury or wrong done. In law, a private memorial tendered to a court in which the person sets forth his cause of action. In law, a complaint, a formal accusation exhibited by a private person against an offender for a breach of law or of public offense. The prefix com or con, fully, it brings everything together. Complete, compel, conscious, condense, confess, confirm. So com and con can be interchangeable. So a complaint is a bringing together of a plaint or a full plaint, which is an expression of grief, regret, pain, censure, or resentment. Lamentation, murmuring, a finding fault. The cause or subject of complaint or murmuring. The cause of complaint or of pain and uneasiness in the body. Number 4, accusation, a charge against an offender made by a private person or informer, someone who informs a justice of the peace or other proper officer, alleging that the offender has violated the law and claiming the penalty due to the prosecutor. With a complaint, the accuser must inform a justice of the peace or private officer alleging that the offender has violated the law in some type of way. And today, most of the time, the accuser is a law enforcement officer. The only problem is that to be the accuser, some type of harm, injury, or loss has to have happened to you. And no police officer has harm, injury, or loss happening to them, so they are literally just a witness for the state that you violated some type of code or ordinance in which the state is prosecuting you for as a crime. Okay, this is out of Webster's 1828, a turn. And as you can see down here, it says to turn. In feudal law, to turn or transfer homage and service from one lord to another. This is the act of feudatories, vassals, or tenants upon the alienation of the estate. This comes from Blackstone's commentary, which Blackstone was a very, very good legal-minded professor that they still study today. Attorney down here. Okay, it says C, a turn, which we just saw, and turn, which is the root word for a turn. So now we go to another suffix dictionary, and you can see Y, also EY from Old English, and it means characterized by, abundant in, made of, containing, similar to, like. So when we apply the EY to the root word attorn, it literally means that the attorney is there to turn over or transfer homage and service from one lord to another. You can interpret this however you wish to interpret it, but basically, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, you are the good or the service that they are transferring over. And what they're doing is they're transferring you over from the Almighty Lord or Creator of the universe, God, whatever you wish to call him, and they're turning you over to the judge of the court or within the court's jurisdiction. And I don't just have this belief for no reason. This comes out of the Black's Law Dictionary, 4th edition. And if you see up here, it says, it is a rule in pleading that pleas to jurisdiction of the court must be pled in propria persona, because if pleaded by an attorney, the attorney admits the jurisdiction. As an attorney is an officer of the court, he is presumed to plead after having obtained leave which admits the jurisdiction of the court. So if you have an attorney, you cannot challenge the jurisdiction of the court, because the attorney literally hands your body over to the court, to the jurisdiction of the court. And that's why in law, to turn or transfer homage and service from one lord to another. Suffix ey, characterized by, abundant, made of, containing, similar to, like. So he is characterized by turning you over to the court's jurisdiction. For this last word that I'm going to break down, almost every dictionary is so corrupt that I could not find the proper term and the proper meaning for this word, lumen. And lumen, the term lumen, is a measurement of light output which consumers have a need to become more and more aware of. And this shows you how a lumen is measured. A lumen is one candle light, 1 foot candle away. So basically the light of a standard candle 1 foot away is a lumen. Lumen means light and the measurement of light. The prefix ill means not, as illegible, ill-intelligent, ill-founded. Webster's 1828, ill, bad or evil, producing evil or misfortune, bad or evil. Again, ill, prefix to participles, present tense, denoting evil or wrong, or to be treated as a part of a compound, as in ill-bred, ill-governed, ill-fated, ill-favored, ill-formed, ill-minded. Now let's look at the suffix ate. Ate, ate, and e's and i's are fairly interchangeable. E, I, and y. So ate for a noun, state, office, function. For a verb, cause to be, adjective, kind of state. Now let's use what we have learned about putting words together. We know that ill means bad or evil, not good. Lumen is a way of measuring light, so lumen is light. And then ate, which they of course replace with an I on this, means state, office, function, cause to be, kind of state. So basically, by calling yourself a Illuminati, you are saying that you are in a state of bad light. Not good light, evil light, light that makes you sick. And so everybody, of course, knows about the Illuminati conspiracy stuff, and they've all heard this Illuminati stuff and this and that. But quite literally, people, they are calling themselves bad light, not good light. And then they believe themselves to be enlightened or knowing something that the rest of the people do not know. And quite literally, if you break down the word, the only thing they know is bad light, and they enact it. Thank you. I am Just Conspiracy, and I just wish to conspire with other good people of this planet to leave a better world for future generations than the world we all grew up in.